Hey, my friends, it's Maria Murphy. So glad to be here with you today. Hope you are having a wonderful Monday and that you had a great weekend. Today, I wanted to share something that I've noticed in my life when I made the shift from living a life by default to a life by design. We could simply say when I started living intentionally. There's a change of pace that's required, I noticed, when you're intentionally pursuing your higher purpose or your dreams or your goals. Have you ever spent the day doing something and, doing a lot of things, a lot of activity, and at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what did I do? I don't even see any results. I don't see anything that I've accomplished. I'm not talking about that when I talk about change of pace, because you can be very busy with a lot of activities, but not producing the results that you need. In fact, the more busy you are, a lot of times when you live that life by default, other people and other things are taking up time on your calendar, and you're not putting anything on your calendar that's bringing you closer to your dreams and goals. So I'm not talking about a change of pace in terms of getting busier. It does seem like you're busier, but it's producing the results that you are wanting in your life. It's not, putting your feet up and expecting those results to happen either. So when I think of the word pace, P-A.C.E, here's what comes to mind. When you live a life by default, the P stands for procrastinate. Everyone knows that word, procrastinate, meaning you put off doing today what you know you should. And you usually say, I'll do it tomorrow or someday. But someday is not a day of the week. And so a lot of times when you procrastinate, you start living out the law of diminishing intent, which says the longer you wait to do something you should, the greater the odds are that you will not actually do it. You're not going to do it. And so when we live a life by default, we tend to procrastinate and we don't do the things that we should. And so the second letter, A, when living a life by default, we start avoiding. We avoid anything that takes us out of our comfort zone, or we avoid people and environments where we feel like we're not the smartest person in the room. We feel intimidated by that. We don't enjoy those types of events or environments when we are living a life by default, because sometimes it can produce guilt because we know we're not where we should be or not doing what we should be doing. So we tend to avoid a lot of things. The C in the word pace, when living a life by default, stands for complacent. We become very complacent. And actually, that's what living a life by default really amounts to. You're really complacent about things. You're just satisfied when you get out of bed on time. Anything else that happens that's good is just a win. Ever been there? I have. I can attest to that. And I'll admit that. I've been complacent for a big part of my life. I was complacent, and so that's what happens to us when we get into a routine where we're not really doing anything towards anything that's worth value. And then the E in the word pace, when we live a life by default, stands for excuses. Now, we don't call them excuses, but that's what it amounts to. We say they're reasons why I can't do this because of this, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the energy. I'm just so tired all the time. It really amounts to excuses. If we were honest with ourselves, we would admit that they are excuses. And so once I made a shift from living a life by default and allowing other people and other things to fill up my calendar and becoming intentional about the life that I desire, that shift included a change of pace. And now PACE stands for, the P is for purposeful. I'm more selective about the activities that I'm going to do. I'm purposeful about about it. I'm going to be selective and do the things that bring me closer to my dreams and goals, and stop the things that don't. And so you become very selective and purposeful about who you hang around with, who you speak to, who you allow to speak into your life, the activities that you participate in, and your daily routine. You become very purposeful about that. The A, when you start living intentionally, goes from avoiding to being accountable. Now, you want to be in an environment where you're not the smartest person in the room. Now you're looking for mentorship. You're looking for mentors and people that you can come in their environment and be with, that can speak into your life, that you can learn and grow from, and that they can learn and grow and develop from you. Iron sharpens iron. And so you definitely want to be in that type of environment where you are accountable to people, because that's going to help you. And then you move from being complacent, and now the C stands for consistent. Now I'm being consistent in the activities that are leading me closer to seeing my higher purpose being lived out, or to seeing my goals and my dreams fulfilled. I'm being consistent with that. And instead of making excuses, I'm executing. Now I'm consistently executing everything that I need to in order to see my higher purpose come to fruition, and my dreams and my goals. And so move from procrastination, avoidance, complacency, and excuses, and change your pace. Get a change of pace in your life and move to being purposeful, accountable, consistent, and executing. And I can tell you, you will see the results in your life. And it doesn't take long. The moment you make that decision, everything aligns. I always say everything, it seems like everything aligned when I made the decision. I hadn't even taken a step yet. I just said, I am going to do this. And I was intentional about it. And I call that, I'm a person of faith, I call that stepping into the grace. When you decide that you're going to do what your higher purpose is, you step into the grace that God gives you to be able to carry that out and to live your purpose. Thank you for joining me. I hope this added value to you today. Share in the comments if there's something that maybe another word for, one of the letters in the word PACE that has helped you and that you've seen in your life manifest when you made that shift from living a life by default to a life by design. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. The link is in the comments. This way, I know on Facebook and Instagram, you don't always see everyone's posts. This way you won't miss any of the videos if they're adding value to you. Have an awesome and amazing day. God bless you.